A reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 17. Jesus prays for his disciples. As you, Father, are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. The glory that you have given me I have given them, so that they may be one, as we are one, I in them and you in me, that they may become completely one, so that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them, even as you have loved me. Father, I desire that those also whom you have given me may be with me where I am, to see my glory, which you have given me because you loved me before the foundation of the world. Righteous Father, the world does not know you, but I know you, and these know that you have sent me. I made your name known to them, and I will make it known, so that the love with which you have loved me may be in them, and I in them. Whilst I believe Jesus said those words, I also understand that people hear and see differently. What we hear can also too easily become distorted. The distortion happens because we all possess such painfully flawed filters. In our seeing, in our hearing, in our giving, and in our receiving. What we intend to communicate is not always what the ear of the other receives or wants to hear. And this happens precisely because there is at all times a very real, fierce, and unremitting conflict between the spirit and the flesh. We are not people who are never moved, who never feel. And so Christian conflict is a fact. And distortion plays a part in that conflict. In music, the distortion of sound can have an awesomely creative power. It can produce sound effects like grit, growl, fuzziness, and also sub-harmonies. I'm no expert, but I've been told that distortion works by some vocals being pushed into overdrive, whilst other vocals get driven out, so that the top and bottom vocals are drowned out, and you just hear the middle ones. Or the middle vocals can be subdued, and you just hear the top and bottom vocals. It can be accidental, or it can be intentional. And I was thinking about this when I read today's Gospel. I was thinking about Jesus standing there, and his word, and his prayer to God the Father, that we may all be one, and how such a message might have been received and understood by those within hearing, and how it might be received by us here and now. The words of Jesus were, of course, distorted by hearers in his time, because after he prayed this prayer to God the Father, he was arrested. In music, distortion can be accidental, or it can be intentional, and in people it is the same. Because of our painfully flawed filters, we simply don't hear the message, and so the distortion is accidental. Or the distortion can be more intentional when we simply do not wish to hear. We don't want the message. We don't want the oneness, the goodness, or the love. Distortion is, unfortunately, a part of our social reality, especially in our social media, and it needs managing. How much distortion becomes part of our spiritual reality depends on us. The Spirit can do the guiding, but we must do the walking and the lifting, actively, purposefully, in the right way. Attending to self-ward virtues of gentleness and self-control, to people-ward virtues of patience and kindness, and to God-ward virtues of love and peace. Helps us to hear how God wants us to hear, to see how God wants us to see, to be what God wants us to be, and to act in accordance with God's will. Amen.